This is First Hour with Summit Times. Sikkim recorded 24 new COVID cases on Tuesday, taking the number of active cases to 392, while the number of COVID cases recorded so far in the state now stands at 579. Among those who tested positive on Tuesday are a lab technician from Sikkim, who is a contact of an electrician who had tested positive some days ago. 3 persons from Sikkim, a 56-year-old male, a 40-year-old female, and a 27-year-old female have also tested positive, all contacts of a village police guard who had tested positive some weeks back. 16 persons from Mumring have tested positive. They were all contacts of a death ritual held in the area. 2 ITBP personnel from Ray and 2 GREF personnel from Rongli have tested positive. In his daily health bulletin, Health Secretary Dr. P.T. Bhutia informed that not all asymptomatic patients will be placed under home quarantine. The State Task Force meeting on Monday had decided to place asymptomatic patients under home quarantine from now onwards. The Health Secretary clarified that only those asymptomatic patients who have the facility of a separate room and toilet in their homes will be asked to stay under home quarantine. Patients who do not have such facilities will not be placed under home quarantine. He also said that asymptomatic patients who have other health conditions or comorbidities will also not be asked to stay under home quarantine. Meanwhile, a statement allegedly made by the Chief Minister P.S. Thamang has created a stir on social media and has drawn ire from various sections of the public as well as the opposition. In a tweet on Monday, the Press Trust of India quoted the CM as saying that the surge in COVID cases in the state was due to gross violations of lockdown guidelines by the people of Sikkim. Following this, Sikkim Democratic Front has demanded that the CM tender an apology to the Sikkimis, while IM 371F campaign's Pasang Sherpa has also asked the CM to take back his statement. 22 Assam Rifles personnel are among 23 new COVID-19 cases detected in Mizoram on Tuesday. The fresh infections have taken the northeastern state's caseload to 384. The Assam Rifles personnel were posted at Zokhaswanga near Aizawl. The 23rd case of the day was a civilian who had recently returned from Nepal. Of the 384 cases, 191 are active while 193 people have recovered. COVID is not scared of even Kala Pani. 14 more people tested positive for COVID-19 in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, taking the Union Territory's caseload to 338 on Tuesday. The fresh infections were detected during contact tracing. Meanwhile, 10 more people have recovered from the disease. Of the 338 cases, 145 are active, while 192 people have recovered and 1 patient has died. The Union Territory registered its first coronavirus fatality on Monday when a 49-year-old government employee succumbed to the infection at the GB Pant Hospital. You know things are bad when fewer than 50,000 official detections of COVID cases becomes a reason to almost celebrate. That said, India's COVID numbers on Tuesday morning did offer reason to cheer. 3 of the hardest hit states reported significantly fewer coronavirus cases, offering a brief moment of relief that helped the country pare down a daily tally creeping towards 50,000 over the last week. Delhi reported a 42% drop. The numbers fell by 20% in Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra posted a 16% drop. On a more sobering note, coronavirus cases are increasing at an average of 3.6%, significantly higher than US at 1.7% and Brazil at 2.4%. If the rate is not brought down, India will cross the US as the country with the highest number of cases in little over 2 months. Let's have some lockdown humor now. Aam Aadmi Party's Sanjay Singh is assured of a career in comedy if his wit kills his stint in politics. Everything will be shut in the lockdown, but essential items will be sold like alcohol, MLAs, trains, airports, banks and government assets, Mr. Singh tweeted in Hindi. Who said tweets are too short to convey anything of heft? The World Health Organization on Tuesday warned against complacency about novel coronavirus transmission. This was directed at those who think that the virus will go with the change in season. This virus, WHO underlines, has not behaved like influenza that tends to follow seasonal trends. People are still thinking about seasons. What we all need to get our heads around is this is a new virus and this one is behaving differently. Margaret Harris told a virtual briefing in Geneva, urging vigilance in applying measures to slow transmission that is spreading via mass gatherings. She also warned against thinking in terms of virus waves and stressed that it is going to be one big wave. It's going to go up and down a bit, and the best thing is to flatten it and turn it into just something lapping at your feet. That's good optimism. And one more positive to take from this is that if it is going to be around for long, we will eventually get around to living with it and still staying safe and stylish. When the mighty fall, they crash hard. Former Malaysian leader Najib was sentenced on Tuesday to 12 years in jail on corruption charges linked to the multi-billion-dollar 1MDB scandal that led to the downfall of his government 2 years ago. The ex-Prime Minister was also fined $50 million after being convicted on all 7 charges in the first of several trials related to the looting of the One Malaysia Development Berhad Sovereign Wealth Fund. Billions of dollars were stolen from Malaysia's main state investment vehicle and spent on everything from high-end real estate to pricey art. Anger at the looting played a large part in the shock loss of Najib's long-ruling coalition at elections in 2018, and he was arrested and hit with dozens of charges following his defeat. And in the bizarre news section, breaking up is always nasty. There is often an element of revenge, and exes continue finding devious ways to irritate their exes. What they end up achieving is reminding the ex why breaking up was the best thing they did for themselves. An Australian mum discovering similar emotions just about every time she picks up the phone. She is being slammed with Chewbacca noise phone calls. She has been inundated with voicemails from strangers making Wookiee roars ever since she broke up with her Star Wars obsessed boyfriend. This bitter guy posted an advertisement promising a chance to win $100 for the best Chewbacca impersonation and gave the lady's phone number to leave voice calls. And this plan has backfired. Not only does the ex find it funny, she is also getting to meet many interesting people through the phone calls. Hold back if a similar plot is scheming in your mind. Try meditation instead. Stay healthy, stay positive. Thank you for tuning in.